the much anticipated homemade 6-ingredient ice cream recipe to come right here, right now in my kitchen. I'm gonna go through, I already did most of what I needed to do. This recipe, it's kind of hard to make every step in front of you on the camera here because some of it has to go through a cooling process. But I did get all the cooling done and I whipped up my whipping cream. Everything's ready to go. I'm gonna throw it together for you here today, but I'm gonna tell you what I did before I got it to cool and whip over here. So, in order to make this homemade 6-ingredient ice cream, what you're gonna do is you're going to start with a can of full-fat coconut milk. And you're gonna put it in, a pan here. I already had my used pan sitting here. I put it in there along with some xylitol, okay? This is going to be the thing that sweetens the ice cream, and it's super good. This will not have an effect on your blood sugar level. And so I love using it. And so this is what I use as the sweetener. I'm putting a little cocoa in it because today we're gonna make a chocolate ice cream. The first ice cream that I made that I showcased, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, that was a salted caramel ice cream. All I did was leave out the cocoa and I put in extract, caramel extract and salt. And so that's all you have to do. I mean, you can have fun with this recipe and you could make a strawberry flavored one. I'm gonna do a coffee flavored one next time I make this ice cream. But I'm gonna do a chocolate one for my buddy, my little guy. He loved this ice cream and he keeps asking for it. He wants more, right? Yes. You want more ice cream? Yes, I know. Mama's gonna make some for you. Okay, so I'm gonna make him a chocolate flavored ice cream right now. So, anyways, you put the coconut milk, the xylitol, the cocoa, and a little bit of salt. You're gonna put it on the stovetop. You're gonna mix it, and you want to dissolve the xylitol. You want to make sure that it's mixed together well. You don't want any clumps, any lumps, nothing like that. Once you get it mixed and warmed up, because you want it all to melt and mix together, then you're gonna add some xanthan gum. And this is pretty powerful stuff. It's a thickener. And it calls for like a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. And all you're gonna do is, you're not gonna pack the teaspoon, you're just gonna lightly put the xanthan gum in the teaspoon and sprinkle it into your mixture. And usually by this time I take it off the heat. Sprinkle it into the mixture and mix. Until you have it all combined. And it's gonna thicken up for you. And so you wanna keep mixing because you don't want any lumps. If you find you're getting lumps, you can always blend them with like an immersion blender. This is the handle to my immersion blender. And so you just kind of, and it gets rid of the clumps for you. So you can use that if you get clumped up when you're doing this. After you warm everything up on the stove, now you have to let that whole mixture cool. So I take the stuff from the pot here and I just put it in a bowl because it's gonna cool a lot quicker sitting in a bowl than it will in a pan that's still heating up, because the pan's gotta cool and then the mixture's gotta cool. So I just transfer it to a bowl and I let it sit on the counter and let it cool. You want it to come kind of to room temperature. And so while this is cooling, you can put together the second part of the recipe, which is you're going to take some heavy whipping cream. You're gonna pour it into a chilled bowl here. I love my KitchenAid. This is one of my favorite tools for the kitchen. I don't use it all the time, but when you need it, it comes in super handy. And so, put that in there. This bowl is chilled. Then I just turn it on whip and I walk away and let it do its magic. And so what you wanna do is you wanna whip this heavy whipping cream until you get soft peaks. Camera guy, did you see the soft peaks? Thank you, sweetheart. The camera guy is my husband, so, I can talk to him. And call him sweetheart. Anyways, so I have this whipped up. I have this cooled. Now we're just gonna combine the two. I'm gonna put it in this little pan right here, this little glass dish. I'm gonna put it in my freezer, and in a couple hours, I'm gonna have some chocolate ice cream. That's healthy for you. So I'm gonna take this off right now. And I'm actually too, I have to add the vanilla in here as well. So I'm gonna add that in, a teaspoon of vanilla. Now, you're probably like, Melissa, you're not giving me any of the measurements. You know, how much do I use of this and that? What I'm gonna do is, my aunt actually gave me this recipe. And what I'm gonna do is, I am going to put the recipe in the comment section of this video, okay? And this recipe I did not come up with. It was a fabulous blogger. We just love our bloggers that make healthy recipes for us. I'm gonna put her link in the comment section below. This way you can go over and you can get the recipe right off of her blog. It'll have the link right there. Her recipe is a chocolate ice cream recipe. But again, if you wanna jazz things up and make it your own, leave the cocoa out and experiment and have a good old time and make whatever flavors you want. I have to say, my aunt made the coffee ice cream, and it was absolutely fabulous. Now, I don't want to put, because you use espresso in the ice cream. So I'm making this for my little guy, so I don't want to give him espresso because, you know, he's got enough energy in his own. He doesn't need espresso to help him out. But, so this will be his little batch, and then Mama and Daddy are going to make their little coffee batch. So, and we're going to love it. But again, see, I'm just kind of mixing it together. Did you get that? And so you get the gist of it. I'm still mixing away. I'm going to pour it into here, and then I'm going to put it in my freezer, and then I'm going to have some wonderful ice cream, and I'll do a picture of what my ice cream looked like afterwards. When you pull this out to eat the ice cream, let it sit out on your counter for like, I hate to say, like 5 or 10 minutes, because it'll get nice and creamy. If you eat it right away, it's going to be more on the icy side, but if you let it warm up, if you know, like I said, let it sit out on the counter for about 5 or 10 minutes, you're gonna get more of a creamy consistency, okay? And that's when it's super yummy, is when it's nice and creamy. So I hope that you try this recipe. I know it might sound complicated the way I'm explaining it, but it really is super easy. And, you know, guilt-free ice cream, I'm loving it. It's amazing. Joel, what did you think about the ice cream? He's an ice cream lover. What did you think about it?
I love it. It is a little icy unless you let it sit.
Yeah.
But it's very good.
Yes. And he is like an ice cream connoisseur. All right. And he was really enjoying it. So yeah, this is it. I'm just going to pour it into my little pan here. And voila. We have ice cream. But we're going to have ice cream soon. So give this a try. Tell me what you think. Post your pictures if you make it, all right? And yeah, we'll see you again.